Hello, hello. Welcome back to my dining room table. I'm starting this down here because the two books that I want to focus on for this reading vlog are downstairs. Anyways, I'm getting ready to take my dogs to the vet, and I am starting a new reading vlog because it's Thursday. This is going to run through the weekend, and I'm hoping that I can do this. It's a pretty, I've got a pretty serious list that I want to try to get to for this reading vlog. One, I started listening to an audiobook on Scribd called Elatsoe. I think that's how you say it. I'm pretty sure that's how the, this is too low. I'm pretty sure that's how the narrator is saying it. It's written by Darcy Little Badger, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I feel like I'm gonna love it because the dedication was something along the lines of, for anybody who's ever loved a dog, and there's a ghost dog, and listen, I'm a sucker, an absolute sucker for a ghost dog. And it's a pretty short book, so I think that I'll be able to get through that today, I'm hoping. The trip to the vet is kind of longer, so I'll have a good amount of time to listen to that audiobook. For my Kindle, I am planning on reading God Killer. I didn't know this. I bought this on Amazon 6-7 months ago. I think this was released in the UK way before it was released here, but I have an ARC of it, and I think it's getting ready to be released in the States in September. I have a physical copy of this and I have a copy on my Kindle, and I want to get through that. I have a lot of ARCs that are due in September, so I'm gonna need to do that. And then the big one that I want to do, that I want to read, Harrow the Ninth. I read Gideon the Ninth last year. Loved it. Gideon the Ninth is great. I was a little confused most of the time, but I feel like that was kind of the point. And then I got to the end and I was like, holy crap. I started Harrow the Ninth almost immediately after I was listening to the audiobook. And that was before I had a physical copy. Squeaky table. And I was so confused that I quit listening to it. And I posted on my TikTok account that I quit listening to it because I was so confused. And somebody commented and said that Harrow was their favorite and that it's confusing on purpose. And I was like, okay, great. So now I have a physical copy, and I think I'm going to do a buddy read with this. Like, I'm going to do a listen and read at the same time. That's the plan for this reading vlog. Harrow the Ninth, God Killer, and Elatsoe. I have no idea what God Killer is about. I saw the cover. Look at this. I saw this cover and I was like, this is gorgeous. Here we go. A slow pan. Anyways, I saw this and I thought it was beautiful. Oh, I haven't even opened this. Look at these end papers. Oh my God. I am a sucker for a pretty book. Here's the map. And here's what I'm reading for this reading vlog, and let's take the dogs to the vet. So, we meet again. I don't know how to start these, and my dog is in the spot that I want to be in. Somebody's being a big ol' couch potato, and he's taking the spot in the house with the best lighting. So, and I cannot ask him to move. It is Goose's world, and we're just living in it, so. Oh good, the camera is adjusting on its own. So anyway, so we are back from the vet. We've been back for a while. I've just been doing some work, and I'm getting ready to clean up the kitchen, which means I will be listening to the audiobook. I'm actually not sure how far of the way I am through Elatsoe, which I think is like, I was trying to avoid starting this at my dining room table like all of the other videos have been done, but here we are. I'm just gonna do it because it's a good spot in the house. Okay, so I'm 40% of the way through Elatsoe, and this is not a failing on the book, it's a failing on my part. I was listening to it in the car and I kept like spacing out, and I was getting confused between There are like dreams happening in this, and like kind of like flashbacks, storytellings. And I kept getting confused like where we were in the timeline, but I am able to follow the story. Like I understand what's happening with the story. But the weird thing is I'm pretty positive. I'm gonna pull up the description of this book. I'm wondering if I'm getting, oh, I am getting these confused. So when I started this book, I had it in my head that this was where the main character is native, goes to college, and then is asked to help investigate some drug crimes that are happening on the reservation that she grew up on. But that's not what this is. I was getting that confused with something else. So this is about Elatsoe. So this book is like set in the world that we currently live in. And the only difference is that there's magic. And there's like all different kinds of magic. It's kind of like, it's a little like chaos magic where anything goes. Like there's vampires. Some people can like make orbs of light appear. Elatsoe has the ability to call up ghosts and that kind of thing. But she only calls up ghosts of animals. She doesn't do that with people because that's like very against the rules. It's not good because apparently people ghosts can be really mean. Anyways, so her cousin suddenly passes away and she goes to where he is in Texas, to where his family is, and is sort of investigating. Anyways, I just read, this is Darcy Little Badger's debut book, but I'm really enjoying it. It's a really great storytelling. I really am liking the main character a lot. A lot of times, especially in the fantasy genre, and I guess since this is magic, this is the fantasy genre, it's a little bit more urban fantasy because what I picture urban fantasy is where we're in the world that we're in now. There just so happens to be magic or fairies or werewolves or vampires or whatever. That is what I would consider urban fantasy. So I would consider this an urban fantasy, but maybe not. Anyways, I'm really enjoying the main character. She's like 16, 17-ish. And sometimes when people are writing a fantasy and you have a main character who's kind of a badass, like they have the need to like say that they're a badass. But Elatsoe, who goes by Ellie, is just, she's very real. Like she's just a very real person, and I really appreciate that. And I am also really appreciating there's kind of this commentary on what it means to be Native in the States. Like the whole story feels really real. And the way that the author is portraying the grieving family and the customs for the tribe that Ellie is part of. That like, you don't say the name of a newly dead person because you might like bring their ghost back. That's something that they do not want. But they're trying to figure out if he was murdered because it was very suspicious. So I'm enjoying it. And I have about 2 hours left. I'm listening to it on 2x speed right now. And I think that I can probably finish it today. I've got to clean up the kitchen. It is a disaster and I have to do some filming for my other job. And I'm expecting a big Instacart order because I got to get ready for next week for my other job. I make content for YouTube as well for my full-time job for a food website. So I film myself cooking videos, and a lot of times I get to listen to audiobooks while I'm doing that. So I've got to clean up the kitchen, and I'm probably going to end up picking up the whole house before my Instacart order gets here. Then when my Instacart order gets here, I've got to organize all of that and put it away, and then I have to edit a video. I guess that could wait until tomorrow. Anyways, I've got to do some work around the house, so I am hoping that I will be able to finish this audiobook. I'm hoping I'll be able to finish it today, but we'll see. It might not take me quite as long to do the things around the house that I need to do, so. But we'll see. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm impressed. I find myself that I'm always impressed with a debut author. Like The City of Brass that I really love, that was Shannon Chakraborty's debut, and that was spectacular. Inkblood Sister Scribe, which I have raved about. I just uploaded another video where I mentioned that book and how much I enjoyed that. That was a debut as well. And this is a debut. I love a debut. I also really enjoy saying the word debut. What is wrong with me? Okay, I have to go clean. I have to stop talking to you. my milk hasn't gone bad. I'm back. It is the next morning. Goose has insisted on getting up at sunrise every day. I don't know what I've done to deserve this kind of punishment, to be living in this kind of hell, but here we are. I am 15% of the way through Harrow the Ninth. I have no idea what's happening, and I looked at a website trying to find like chapter summaries so that maybe I could read a chapter, then read the summary to like have somebody else explain to me what I read. And the ending got spoiled for me. Which, like, I knew that that's probably what was gonna happen. Like, just from the vibe of the book, I could tell that it was something along those lines, but I didn't want it spoiled for me. That really sucked. And Harrow is not into it so far. Like, just to be really honest, like, Olive doesn't like it either. But everybody talks about how Harrow the Ninth is their favorite. And God. Anyways, so I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm going to make myself some lunch. And I'm gonna continue listening. I am working on a quilt for a charity auction, and I really need to get some work done on that. So today is a good day to listen to this audiobook, and I will just be massively confused as I work on this quilt and eat my lunch and go about my day. So let's go. Let's do it. Oh, God. What did I get myself into? Making this godforsaken quilt while listening to the most confusing audiobook in the entire world might be the death of me. I may die before this reading vlog is over. I'm losing it. Let me show you the rest of this quilt that I'm working on. Okay, so I have it hanging up here on the wall. It's gonna be an elephant, but it's paper piecing. So I need to sew these two pieces together here. That's what I'm working on. It's a 3/5 of the way done, because there's 5 sections. And I still have all of these pieces left to go. And I don't know how much freaking thread I've wasted on this seam. Anywho, I'm losing it. I'm losing my mind. And that's exactly what listening to Harrow the Ninth feels like. It feels like I'm losing my mind. If the people on TikTok, if you lied to me, and there's not some kind of amazing payoff for this, if the end of this book does not blow my mind, I'm gonna quit. I'm never gonna read anything ever again. That's not true, but that's how I feel. Okay, I'm gonna keep sewing and keep listening. Okay, I am 32% of the way through Harrow the Ninth. And I finally got past the piece that I got stuck on. It's done. I've made 2 other pieces. I stopped quilting for a little bit and like sat down and like looked at the book while I was listening, and that really helps. So I think I'm catching it. Like I think I'm getting it. Although when I start to get it, then I like don't get it anymore. So I'm gonna take a break from Harrow because Harrow is a lot. I don't know if I'm gonna get to God Killer in this reading vlog. simply because Harrow is a lot, but we'll see. I've had a traumatic morning so far this morning. I was out here in the yard trying to put the cover back on our grill because I took it off like a week ago to grill something and then I never put the cover back on, as one does. And there was a giant black widow spider. I'll insert a picture. It doesn't look giant from the picture, but trust me, it was terrifying. I screamed, called my husband, who is in Ireland, and was cussing about the spider. I was on FaceTime, so I'm pretty sure all of his work buddies who were in the car heard that conversation. So, not one of my finer moments, but it was terrifying. I almost started crying, and I felt like I was going to throw up. So, I think I killed it. There was a dog bone and on the patio, and I threw the dog bone at the grill a couple times. I may have dented the grill. So I can't function today. So I'm gonna sit out here for a little bit with the dogs and read. I didn't get much further yesterday in Harrow the Ninth. I am close to the halfway mark. I think I'm at like 45-ish%. Oh, you know what? I can look. 37%. I'm at 37%. I feel like Goose Do Not Start. I feel like it's taking me a lot longer to get through this one. I think it's because I keep checking to see how far along I am, and it's just not as far as I think I am. So I'm gonna keep plugging along with that. I might start Godkiller too, just to like give my brain a break. Hopefully Godkiller isn't as confusing as Harrow the Ninth. So that's the update for now. I'm traumatized, and I need for my husband to come home because I cannot manage this situation anymore. I am going to keep reading, and I will update you in a little bit, and maybe I'll look nicer, but honestly, it's Saturday. I'm probably not leaving my house, so it is what it is. It is about 2:30 on Saturday. I have done literally nothing. Anyways, I'm going to keep working on my quilt and listening to Harrow. I am really confused. So I'm just going to record this so that maybe later I'll be able to like fully grasp what was going on. But so here's what I'm confused about. Harrow is at like the house, I guess, the castle or whatever, with the other lictors and Ianthe. She keeps going, like, I don't know if it's back in time to what happened in Gideon the Ninth, but when she goes back in time and she's talking about characters that were in Gideon the Ninth who are all dead now, she keeps referring to her cavalier as Ortis. But Ortis didn't go with her. Gideon went with her. And also one of the lictors is Ortis the First, which she explained when she said that Anastasia, her like great-great-grandparent or whatever, who was originally a lictor and originally named her house, it made sense that she would have like named the people of her house after the other lictors. But Ortis, the Saint of Duty, wants to kill her. And there's like no reason. I can't figure that out. And I don't know. I'm just bamboozled. I'm starting to be able to follow it, but not really. I don't know. I'm so confused. So I'm gonna keep listening. Gonna keep right on being confused, I guess, and hope that I get not confused by the end, because I really enjoyed Gideon, and I'm enjoying this one. It's just freaking weird. It's bizarro. So anyways, I guess I'll see you at the next update. I am 87% of the way through Harrow the Ninth. I am still confused, but less confused. Earlier, I said that I couldn't figure out why Harrow was having these like memories sort of being at the Canaan house and doing the lictor, like I guess kind of like trial without Gideon, with Ortis, who was the cavalier that left, and I have found out why. I am, spoiler, if you haven't read this and you're like wanting to read it, don't watch this. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that Gideon is sort of back, and I am worried that Gideon is not going to last long again. Because part of the reason why I enjoyed Gideon the Ninth so much was I liked Gideon the character. So it's really nice having Gideon's voice back. This book has been absolutely wild. I don't know if I like it. I don't think I like it as much as I liked Gideon the Ninth, but I still have, like, we have, like, the big ending still. So maybe once that happens, I'll change my mind. But, yeah. Whoa. This is a wackadoodle book. I don't know what's going on in Tamsyn Muir's brain, but it is not good. I can tell you that. It's wild. It's bonkers in there. If they came up with this. I have to say though, like looking at the book and listening to the audiobook has been really helpful. I don't think that I would have been able to get through this book without that. Just because, whoa, got a pretty big couple of chunks done on my quilt today while I was listening to this. I only have 3 pieces left in this section, so I think that if I go really hard tomorrow, I think I could maybe get this done. The quilt, I will definitely have the audiobook done. I think I'm not going to listen anymore tonight. I have like an hour or so left. And I am tired, ready for bed. I haven't really done anything today except for like work on this quilt and sit on the couch and listen to this audiobook and read this book. So it's bedtime, and hopefully when I see you tomorrow, I will have finished this book. I did start God Killer. I just read the prologue, and from the prologue alone, I'm curious. I'm worried that it's going to be a little, the prologue was a little confusing because it felt, the names were very like Greek mythology-esque where everything kind of sounds similar. That's something else that I'm like struggling with Gideon the Ninth, is like the names are very complicated, and then like they say thanergy and thalogy a lot, and if you're listening to it fast it sounds the same, but they mean different things. Like one is life energy and one is death energy, and there's a lot of big words. And I am not always a big word book kind of girl, but you know, whatever. Anyway, so I read the prologue for God Killer, and I'm curious. So hopefully I will read some more of that tomorrow. And my husband is coming back from Ireland, so I'll be excited to go pick him up tomorrow night. But yeah, so I will see you in the morning. It is... Oh my God. It's somebody walking their dog. How dare they? It is the next day, and Goose is acting neighborhood patrol. So there's that. I finished Harrow this morning, and I have thoughts, maybe. I have feelings, possibly. I'm not really sure. The ending was bonkers. Like, the ending was nuts. I continued to remain confused the entire time. Which I think is kind of the point. I think like that's just what this is. I think it's just a confusing sci-fi. But things did make sense in the end. And it took me until like the last 50 pages to like fully grasp what was occurring. And then I had to go back in and read a synopsis so that I could understand what happened at the end, so that I will be prepared for Nona the Ninth and then Electo the Ninth. I am glad that Gideon was back, and I'm not 100% sure about the fate of Gideon currently. Because, and you know what else, like, this is super confusing because there's a lot of, like, soul absorbing, body snatching, like, it just, it gets so weird and so wild. I don't know how anybody, like, sometimes I read things and I just don't understand how the author was able to come up with that. Like, my brain must be like the size of a pea, because I just like, how do you get there? How does that arrive in your head? Anyway, so yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think I did like Gideon better. I'm not in the Harrow was better than Gideon camp. Harrow is a really cool premise. A really cool premise. The confusion was very confusing. It did its job. But I am a Gideon fan. I like Gideon, the character. But yeah, I really enjoyed Gideon. I think Gideon was possibly a 5-star read for me. Harrow was a very good continuation, but I was so confused the whole time I don't know that I could call it a 5-star read. Like, and you know, star ratings are so subjective. Like, I have, you know, Yellowface and Babel were 5-star reads for me, but like, I also really enjoyed Fourth Wing, and like, those are not the same caliber book. It's not the same caliber writing. Like, it's almost not even really the same genre. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Star ratings are dumb. I had a good time. I didn't have a good time reading this book. I had a good time reading Gideon. Gideon was a good time. This one was not as much of a good time, but the ending was, like, shocking. Well, it wasn't shocking because I knew, like, I had a feeling when I started reading it the first time that it was going to be something like it was, where Gideon was still kind of alive within Harrow, but not completely dead. I kind of knew that was going to happen, but what I didn't know was the other stuff that happened at the end. About where Gideon came from, and it really clicked. So we're gonna have to do like a little slight change of plans with the rest of this reading vlog. I had wanted to read Godkiller, and I started Godkiller. I read the prologue, but today is Sunday. My husband is coming home from Ireland today. I have to pick him up this evening. I have some stuff for my actual job that I need to do because I didn't get it done on Friday like I had intended. I need to film my monthly wrap-up video, July wrap-up. And I would like to pick up the house a little bit and get some laundry done. So there's a lot of stuff that I have to do. I'm not really gonna have time to sit down and read a book. And a Libby hold came up for me for another audiobook, so I'm gonna work on that. And somebody's upsetty spaghetti about people in the neighborhood. So I'm gonna work on that and hopefully get that done. Audiobook is We Hunt the Flame. And this is one, like, it's supposed to be really, really good. And I think it's a debut. Also, Gideon the Ninth was Tamsyn Muir's debut. Bonkers. Bonkers insane. Who comes up with that and says, let me write down all these crazy ideas that I have? I don't have crazy ideas like that. I'm not a writer. I guess that's why I can't comprehend how somebody could write that kind of stuff. My God. It's just crazy. And you know, the same thing with Neil Shusterman. Like, he kind of did the same thing, where there was like little tiny things that happen, and then there's a reveal about all of these like little tiny things that were going on the whole time, and you're like, wow, I didn't really think that mattered. Like, I just thought that was like a cool little thing that you added, you know, like just some like non-important detail. Wow, my brain is wrecked. My brain is absolutely wrecked. So, but I am really glad that this hold for We Hunt the Flame came up, because I started reading it on Kindle. It's on Kindle Unlimited. I started reading it that way like 2 months ago, and then got some arcs or whatever. It got pushed to the back, got pushed to the side. So I am excited to finally get to read this, because I've heard really good things about it. And I think this is going to be right at my alley. Plus, it's a YA. And I think that it's going to be a little bit more straightforward than Harrow the Ninth was. Okay, that's done. Sorry, I had to focus to put eyeliner on. What was I talking about? I don't even remember. It must not have been very important. I will be back. I have to go do some work. Look at Goose. Look at that baby. I have to go do some work, and I will be back with another update. But I did enjoy Harrow. It was a really good continuation to the series, but I don't have any thoughts as far as like a rating go. I think that if you enjoyed Gideon, Harrow is worth the read. I did want to show you my copy of We Hunt the Flame. So in another reading vlog, I said that I like getting my books secondhand because I feel like they have a story. This one doesn't have a great story. I found it at McKay's, but I found an autographed, I found a signed copy. So hang on, let me go get it. It's up here. It's at the bottom of that stack of books. This is my Korok. So I got it for $12. First of all, I really like this cover. I don't know, this character, I'm not 100% sure which one that is, but I think it's, I think I know. It's cool, like this script is shiny. There's the side and the back. So this copy that I got came with, this was in there, this is some character artwork. So that's nice here. Cutie Patootie. And there is Zafira, which Zafira is such a cool name. Anyways, that was in there. This was in there, which is a note from the author. I thought this was so cool that all of this stuff was in here. And then it's a signed copy. It's the Owl Crate edition. So there's that. And then when I was at McKay's the other day, I found the second book. I found both copies at McKay's. I think I paid $30 total for both of them. So if you have a McKay's near you, they're in North Carolina and Tennessee, possibly in Georgia. Not 100% sure on that one. But I highly recommend checking out McKay's. They're excellent. I am 48% of the way through We Hunt the Flame, and I'm enjoying it. And I'm gonna have to
end this reading vlog there, but I am enjoying it and I think I will enjoy this book. So far, the enemies have met. There have been some interesting looks, and I think that this is going to go exactly where I want it to go. But I anticipate that I'll finish this in another day or so. I got a lot of work done on my quilt listening to Harrow the Ninth, and I've still been working on it. I've got to get that done this week, so hopefully I'll insert a picture of what I've gotten done because I laid it out on the floor and took a picture of it, and Goose promptly walked on it. But hopefully I'll be finishing up in the next reading vlog, because I'm doing these over the weekends because that's when I have the most time to read. But yeah, so Harrow the Ninth was good. I am excited to read Nona the Ninth. Elatsoe was good, and hopefully I'll do God Killer. I'll read that one for the next reading vlog. That's the goal. And I'm almost finished with, well, I'm halfway through We Hunt the Flame, and I'm enjoying it. Thanks for coming along for this reading vlog, and I will see you in the next one.